Oh, damn it. Excuse me. All right. Let's do another episode. Ruckus and Luker got bored. I'm Ruckus. He's
I'm
Luker. Sorry, I just stepped over you that time.
all over my coast.
We should do it the same way every time, and it's me that keeps changing it just because my brain's like, no, do not comply. Really just as a blanket statement. And one thing it rarely complies with is casting in movies. See, kids? That's a segue. Borderlands. I actually liked it a lot more than I think anybody did.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I don't think it deserved all the negative reviews and all the hate. Like, it's not an Oscar contender, but it's
By
like
no
a
means.
fucking Borderlands movie. I mean, like, I liked almost everything about it except for the casting. Like,
Yeah, the casting was the one really, really sore spot. Like there were points. The performances for those casting were really good.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis was an absolute standout of that list. But I thought that we would just go through spoilers for the Borderlands movie, even though unfortunately you probably haven't seen it, nor have you listened to this podcast probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, spoilers. Just go through as all the major characters appear in the movie, what we thought of their casting and what we would change about it. And the first person to show up is Roland. What do you think about Kevin Hart as Roland?
He's not Roland. Like, he's just not Roland. He's Kevin Hart. He's funny. He was okay in the movie, but he's not Roland. Like, he's just not Roland.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. Like, and not just because of his personality, his height. It's just Kevin Hart is not Roland at all. There's no part of him that aligns with that character, because everyone else's portrayal was pretty accurate to who they were in the games. Roland's was just so out of left field.
Yeah, like I said this from the get-go, and I'm sure I'm not the first person that ever had this thought, but like, he would have made a good Claptrap, and The Rock could have made a good Roland, and they have great chemistry together. That would have been a good casting combo there. But like, him as Claptrap, I think would have been great. But Roland's like, I mean, it's Borderlands again, so like, nobody's a super serious character, but he's the most serious of them.
100%.
And Kevin Hart is not a serious person. Like, that just doesn't work for him.
Yeah, and also, like, Roland's kind of statuesque. He's the kind of guy you'd build a statue of.
Yeah.
And that is not, well, let's see, how am I going to word this? I don't see Lilith or Cate Blanchett trying to climb up Kevin Hart.
Well, first off, they would have to climb down.
This is my point.
But also, yeah, like, he's not.
No offense, Kevin. I love you. I know you're not listening, but
I love him. I love all of his stand-ups. I love him in every movie I've seen him in. I didn't hate him in this movie.
Not at all.
It was just bad casting for the character. Like,
the only thing I hated was I was so mad because I know it's not him. It's the writing. It has to be this way because it's going to happen. But the whole piss wash gully scene, like, why didn't he say, close the window? That's piss.
Yeah.
No, you're telling a defiant teenager, close the window. And everyone's arguing, no. And then everyone gets piss all over him. No, you say, close the window, that's piss. Then they close the window. You know why? Because that's piss.
Yeah. That scene was funnier in the movie than I thought it was going to be based on the trailer.
Oh, absolutely.
It played better. The whole movie was better than the trailer. Like, it was good. Like, I mean, it was a good Borderlands movie, except for the casting.
Casting.
I think I said this while we were watching it. Like, I hope that after everything was done, the art department and the writer's room took the casting department out back and beat the shit out of them, because they fucked up what could have been great. Like,
I'm really hoping that a director's cut comes out, because apparently this was a hard R-rated love letter to the fans sort of movie that it was finished in 2022 and then was put on the shelf because the studio was appalled by the violence. They hated the movie. They needed to rework it into being a PG-13 blockbuster. So honestly, I think if we could get the director's cut, I know I was so against the Snyder cut, but see, here's the thing, that still ended up being bad. I think this actually has hope, though.
I think we discussed the Snyder Cut before. If not, I could go on and rant about that. But like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I think so. I would have personally liked to have seen a hard R fucking like, or at least maybe not hard R is a bad way to put that, but I how do I put it? It was a little too pasteurized for what I felt like a Borderlands movie should be, but I think it was fine as it was released because I think their mistake was trying to make it mass appeal. Like it's such a wacky idea that it's only really going to be for the fans. And I mean, Borderlands was a wildly successful video game, but let's say it sold, I don't know, 10 million copies. Maybe a third of those are going to go see this movie, which is probably what ended up happening. You know, I mean, fuck, I didn't realize until we started watching it that it was Eli Roth. Like I imagine the R-rated version that he made was pretty fucking intense, and that'd be cool. Like, I don't think it necessarily needed to be super gory, but I wouldn't mind seeing a version that's super gory. I don't know that it would necessarily have made it much better because, again, I don't think it was that bad. Like,
yeah, I don't think it was that bad either. But there were other things. Like there was a lot of studio interference and a lot of things that were changed apparently.
I wonder what. I would just like to know what, because like
I would as well.
There's not that much that I can. I mean, obviously, any story could be better. I just don't know what. Like nothing in the story really stood out to me as bad, except that they largely did Captain Jack's story with the sirens. Not Captain Jack, Handsome Jack's story with the sirens, but they didn't use Handsome Jack or the sirens.
I mean, they did call her a siren at the very end, but
but like they didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead. No,
but like they didn't use Angel, and they didn't use Handsome Jack. Like, but they very clearly were inspired by that. The way they used the Atlas dude and Tina, like they were going for that story, but that's not. They didn't do that story. They did a different story, which was just why. Why not just use Handsome Jack? He's such a good villain.
And now by doing that, you now can't do that story properly with Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my problems with the Marvel universe is they did Tom Hardy is so good as Venom in the Sony universe, but we're not going to be able to see that Venom with a good Spider-Man over in the Marvel universe. It's the same thing. The one that exists now prevents a good one from happening later. Though now we're seeing that some of the people coming back in Marvel movies, that might not be the same.
I don't know. I think we can. I think they're setting it up. We can definitely see Tom Hardy Venom versus, well, probably not versus, but with Tom Holland Spider-Man.
But it's going to take so many movies to properly introduce. Like it. Well, no, because Spider-Man could get the black suit in Secret Wars in 2026. But you would have to give Spider-Man at least one movie with the black suit on Earth before you can introduce Tom Hardy. So then you're looking at or before you can introduce Venom. So you're looking at the earliest a Tom Hardy in the MCU movie 2030.
Well, I mean, okay. Obviously everybody wants to see Black Suit Spider-Man because he was awesome, but they don't need to do that. Like they can just put in Venom in the movies. Like they don't necessarily need to do the Black Suit Spider-Man story.
Well, they do need to sort of explain why the symbiote knows who Spider-Man is in when he sees him. He knows it. Now that is because they are interdimensional beings. The symbiotes are connected through the multiverse. But
why does he need to know who he is?
Because because the whole Spider-Man and Venom thing, like that's why, because the suit is why they work together. Eddie Brock hated Peter Parker. The suit hated Peter Parker. That's why they came together to. In the comics and in the Raimi trilogy, but like they don't have to do that. No, they definitely don't. But Oh, God, get off my lawn.
I mean,
Oh,
like, no, I
you're
get it.
not,
Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong,
but like,
but
if they're not
you're
going
out
to
of
do Black
line.
Suit Spider-Man, they don't have to do that rivalry. Like,
No, I just
they could,
feel like not having them connected doesn't make any sense. You know, like it didn't make sense to have Black Adam show up in his own movie, and while Shazam's got two other movies, they're supposed to be conflicting forces, at least as far as I know them. I don't know. They just don't make the movies the way I want them to make them. That's what I'm really saying.
yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair that they won't be able to do that, but they don't have to do that. It would be cool, and obviously that's what everybody's going to want. But I don't know. After fucking Spider-Man 3, I'm not sure I want to see another fucking Black Suit Spider-Man in a movie. That was so bad, man.
It was incredibly bad. And I'm sad that we didn't get Spider-Man 4 because we would have found that Bruce Campbell's been Mysterio in all the movies. That's what Sam Raimi was going to do.
That would have been good. Too bad he fucked up the third one so bad. Because like 1 and 2 are amazing. 2 especially. 2 is one of the best. 2 is like the second best sequel ever.
Yeah.
I think we all know what the first one is.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. Yeah, obviously. Like, and no questions there.
Yeah, there really isn't. It is the best sequel of all time. Oh
man, he just shit the bed so bad on 3, and it was just emo Spider-Man. That's what fucked everything else up. Like, Sandman's not the best villain, but he was okay. I mean, the guy that played him did fine, and he had a good arc. Spider-Man didn't.
No.
And Topher Grace as the weightlifter Eddie Brock. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'll tell you what, though, for as badly as he was cast, when he was like the Eddie Brock that had like the suit around him, you know, he's talking like he has the fangs, is like, okay, for this movie, that's a fun performance. It's terrible casting, just like the Borderlands movie, but he did what he could with it.
I agree with you, except he did good given what he was put in, but like they didn't watch that and go, okay, guys, we need to stop. He needs to be Carnage.
Yeah.
And let's get anybody else to play Venom, and he will be an amazing Carnage.
You could have had Ashton Kutcher play Venom, and I would have been more convinced.
Actually, no. I think at the time,
actually, in that time frame, you might be right.
Ashton Kutcher and Topher Grace. No, man. Well, this can't happen. I don't think it'll work because they're just so much older now. But like, go back to what was it, 2003, probably when Spider-Man 3 came out, and like recast that, and Ashton Kutcher is Eddie Brock, just being full 2003 Ashton Kutcher douchebag, and then they introduce fucking, was it Cameron Green? Is that his name? Or is that somebody else? Whatever. The guy that plays Carnage. The guy that turns into Carnage. And that's
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy. I think Cameron Green is Steve Buscemi in Con Air.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Another fucking fantastic movie.
Truly. Except for not even casting Nick Cage, just casting Nick Cage as a guy from Mobile, Alabama.
Put the bunny down
in the box. Why don't treat women like that?
I love Nicolas Cage and everything he does, but man, does he do some things.
Okay, so I have for a long time, for many, many years, have been like, I love every movie Nicolas Cage does, and I hate Nicolas Cage. Like, it's lessened over the years. I was like, he's not a good actor. He just gets put in these movies that are amazing somehow. I don't understand it. And people used to be like, yeah, he's put in good movies because he's good. And I'm like, but is he though? Is he really? And I used to argue with people all the time. And then Community did an episode about it, and I was vindicated. I felt heard for the first time in my life. I was like, Dan Harmon gets it. It's like, is he a good actor? I don't know. He's in good movies. But then I saw Renfield, and like, yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. Renfield was just fantastic. Like, and
he's so good in that. So good. Oh, we have gone so far off the rails. All right, back to Borderlands.
So, Tiny Tina. Ariana Greenblatt, she was fine. I mean, I think she was kind of written poorly. Like, there was almost too much heart in this movie. Like, it was almost too sincere at a lot of points.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But I was thinking, well, the main thing about Tiny Tina's performance is the voice. So
Yep.
I'm thinking, just bring in Ashley Birch. Like she could totally do the part. Like I think personally, I enjoyed watching her on Mystic Quest.
Yeah. Mythic
So
Quest.
yeah, why not? I mean, it can't be worse than the casting we got for Lilith.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna make Lilith and Tanis fucking septuagenarians, we can have a 30-year-old Tiny Tina. Like, who cares?
And we are not criticizing them for their age.
No,
because they're both. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis does the best acting in the movie.
I actually, yeah, like I think this was brought up while we were watching it, and like I actually didn't like after seeing her do it, I didn't mind her being an older Tanis. Like she did amazing with what she was given.
And also when they did the de-aged Tanis for the flashback, it's like, okay, at least they acknowledge that that's what she's supposed to look like because she did look spot on, same haircut and everything.
Yeah, and like Kate Blanchett also did a good job. Like it was a good performance. It just wasn't the right role for her. And like honestly, the biggest part was that like one of the biggest just knock you right out of it moments was when she starts bitching about her mommy issues. I'm like, I don't want to hear a 50-year-old person talk about issues with their parents. Like you should have figured it out by now. Like
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm 39 years old. You're not going to hear me bitch about issues like those type of issues with my parents. Like,
yeah,
because you're just too old for that shit now, man. Like,
the only person you talk with that stuff about that, but is probably your therapist.
Yeah, and like whatever.
I do like when she went, "I'm getting too old for this shit." Like she sort of did acknowledge it, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, maybe if they had worked it in that she was older.
Yeah, that was the only time they acknowledged it at all.
Like if they had worked it in from the beginning that like she's just older. She's just an older Lilith. She's still Lilith, but she's older. It would have landed a little better. But like they didn't, and we're as fans of the games going into this thinking Lilith is like maybe in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably supposed to be younger than that in the game, but like to be generous, she's in her 30s, and she's still very attractive. She's still a very good actress. She's still a very vibrant woman. All those nice things you have to say, but like she is clearly not in her 30s.
Yes. And also like it would have been the one scene where she's really bonding with Tina about, you know, the trauma that they've been through and everything. If they were in closer in age, that would feel more natural.
Yeah. Or they could have changed it and had her take a motherly role. Like or maybe not necessarily motherly, but definitely an older, like mentor role. As opposed, because Tina in the movie is supposed to be in her teens. Lilith is clearly not. Like she's much older. You can't have them bond together because anyone who is, let's be honest, this movie was made for people 25 and older at least.
Yes.
Right. And like anybody who's 30 knows they can't bond like that with a 15-year-old. You just fucking can't. Like you grew up in two completely different worlds. You're two completely different types of people. Like you just can't bond like that. Ashley Birch could be her. I would be fine with that. I think the biggest problem I had with her in this movie is that I have some friends that really hated her character in the games because she's so like low random kind of. I personally loved that. I thought it was great.
As well.
I was disappointed she wasn't more random in the movie. Like, she's insane in the games, and I really like that.
There was definitely some of her lines that's like, oh, you can tell that those were written by somebody who knew what they were doing, but they just weren't delivered properly. Like during the whole thing where all those yellow buses were crashing and everything, she said a couple things there. It's like, oh yeah, that's definitely a Tiny Tina line, but it's not. That doesn't have the right spirit,
and it didn't fit with the rest of her characterization in the movie.
Like when Tiny Tina says "badonkadonk," I believe it.
Yeah.
When Ariana Greenblatt's Tiny Tina says it, I don't believe it.
And like I really wanted her in that part of the beginning to do that line. I don't remember it exactly, but where she's telling, it's after she sends you on the quest to retrieve the 2 stuffed bunnies. And she's like, baby's got a belly full of dynamite and a booty like pow or something like that. Like, I wanted her to fucking say that. Like, she didn't, and I was very sad. And like, she works really good in the game, for me at least, in my opinion, because she is such a crazy character with the darkest story.
Oh, like, yeah, it's absolutely heartrending.
Like when you help her hunt down the bandit that killed her parents, and she fucking tortures him to death, and then she's just like, afterwards is like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And that just you didn't get that scene in the movie. Or like Assault on Dragon's Keep.
Nothing's going to beat Assault on Dragon's Keep.
When she keeps refusing the road, like, no, Roland will be here soon. Roland will be here soon. Like, bro, Borderlands games aren't supposed to make you fucking cry. Like, no. You know?
Krieg's DLC in Borderlands 3. Oh, it killed my heart.
Yeah, that was really good too. It didn't hit me like Assault on Dragon's Keep did, but yeah, that one also was really good.
Speaking of Krieg, I literally can't think of anybody.
I mean,
to put in that part that's better. Like, not saying that it was the most amazing performance, but I just literally can't think of anybody to put in that place.
Here's the only way I think that you could have maybe made it better is you take a Sweet Tooth approach from the Twisted Metal series, and you get a bigger dude. I don't know who you would have got, but like somebody that fit the actual character better, and then you give them a voice like Will Arnett. You know, somebody's just an amazing voice actor. But I don't even think that's necessary. I think the guy that played him, that was the only good casting in the damn movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. The guy who played Marcus did good.
Marcus, he
was a better option.
Yeah. Knox, though, that should have just been General Knox, and it should have been Stephen Lang. He was the...
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, him and Avatar was basically fucking General Knox. Yeah.
I thought he would have been a good Cable, too.
Yeah. Because, again, him and Avatar was basically just...
Yeah, he even had the scar over his eye and everything.
Yeah, that would have been a good casting. I don't know if he could have done the sardonic lines quite as good as Knox does in the DLC, but he fits. He would have been good.
Next up, Lilith. What haven't we said? I mean, all the love and respect in the world to Cate Blanchett. She's fantastic. She's just not 23 to 32. Mary Elizabeth Winstead for Lilith. She was Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim, but now she's looking more like like I saw her in a flight suit in one movie, and I was like, she's like the new Ripley.
Okay.
Sigourney Weaver, I mean.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, because Sigourney Weaver from Aliens, or Alien and Aliens, would have been the perfect Lilith, like for that time and everything. Yeah,
she could be a good one. I think that could have been someone. I was thinking Anya Taylor-Joy.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if she could pull off the hard ass that Lilith should be, but she has the look. I think she definitely could have did it. Plus, she got them big ass anime eyes, and you know,
yeah. Especially if they went with a more stylized aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning, maybe rotoscoping the movie, like making the whole thing look cell shaded.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't have had mass appeal, I don't think, but I personally would have liked it.
Yeah.
I would like to have seen that. I think that would have looked really cool.
And then also with that, you could have cast anybody in any role and made them look like whatever.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're making an animated movie.
Yes. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So Atlas with Edgar Ramirez, I think that just should have been Handsome Jack. There's no reason for it not to have been Handsome Jack. And then the whole, you make Angel and Tina the same character, and that's just taken care of. Yeah. And you cast, I have 2 ideas for Handsome Jack: Glenn Howerton or Anthony Starr.
I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it, because I didn't think of anyone who could fucking be Handsome Jack. But no, Glenn Howerton could be Handsome Jack. I don't know about Anthony Starr. I love him. He's amazing. I don't know that he could do Handsome Jack correctly. I don't think he could do all right, so like Homelander obviously has the psychotic nature, right? Like he could definitely handle that. But like Handsome Jack he's just this like super positive psychopath.
Yeah,
And I don't know
it's
that
like
Handsome Jack can pull it off, but Glenn Howerton definitely could. Dennis Reynolds is basically Handsome Jack with no power.
that's true. He is a
Like,
golden god, and his rage knows no bounds.
that's actually perfect. Like he would have been an amazing Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
And I mean, could possibly in the future. They didn't use him.
I mean, that's true.
This movie's not getting a sequel, and that's very unfortunate.
Which brings us to Marcus. I mean, this guy looked and sounded exactly like Marcus. Like, I actually had to look up to make sure this guy wasn't his voice actor, Benjamin Byron Davis. He is a voice actor, though. He was Dutch in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought he looked just about as much as you're going to get somebody to look like the Marcus in live action, and he sounded exactly like him. But you had brought up a much better casting.
Yeah, Luis Guzman. Like he wouldn't have done the Russian accent or whatever, but he wouldn't need to be. He'd just be him. Just be him in every movie he's in. Doing Marcus's lines, I think would have been amazing.
Oh man, I really, we need to find like an AI Luis Guzman voice impersonator, because now I just want to type in, so you want to hear a story? The whole monologue from the beginning of those both games, or all 3 games, or 4 games? Yeah. Does Marcus do all 4? I think he does all 4.
I don't know if he's in Tales from the Borderlands or not Tales from, if he's in Tiny Tina's Wonderland or not.
Oh, well, that would be the 5th one. I was thinking 1, 2, pre-sequel, and 3.
I'm not sure if he's in it, but I think his vending machines are.
Gotcha. I didn't know if he still did the opening narration.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. That game, maybe I should try playing that game again.
Yeah, I've only got like 70 hours in it. It's by far my least played Borderlands game. I've put a lot of hours in those fucking games.
Yeah. Now I know that this next one, I know you don't like Jack Black.
Yes.
What did you think of Claptrap, or your honest thoughts?
He was written well.
Written extremely well.
And for that matter, all of them were written well. Like the writers were fans of the show or of the games.
Yeah. Eli
Roth is a fan of the games.
Like even the little details, like when Marcus called out the Infinity gun and xenobiology and the reticles on the fucking guns.
Yep. Like the set designers, the costume designers, everyone except whoever was in charge of casting understood the assignment.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I mean, like, he did okay. I don't know how much of it is he wasn't as good as I thought it would be, and how much of it is I have a bias against Jack Black. So I have to take anything I say with a grain of salt, because I don't like Jack Black.
And I have the opposite problem. I'm a lifelong Jack Black fan. Like for me, it started with Tenacious D and Biodome, like going that far back. So my opinion is skewed positive Jack Black. I actually thought that it was perfectly performed, also because he didn't have to be there. You know, he probably literally phoned this in. But you don't really have to do much for a character like that if you've got the right spirit, and I think he does.
I mean, I guess there was some outside of that drama between the voice actor for Claptrap and Randy Pitchford, who's the game director for Borderlands or something.
Gearbox. He's the CEO of Gearbox.
CEO of Gearbox. There we go. Whatever. I knew he was some high up. But man, they could have just got the guy who voiced Claptrap. Like,
I don't think they could have after. I think he sort of is done with the project after Randy punched him in the face in the hotel lobby for asking for his paycheck.
Yes, I know. I know that is the thing. But like, they could have gave him enough money, he'd have come back.
Oh yeah, if they gave him enough money, yeah. But I don't think that they were giving out a lot of money on this one. Let's take a look. At least as much as IMDb can be accurate. Wikipedia is probably more accurate. I'll look them both up.
Yeah, I mean, and like that just sucks. That's just one of those things that sucks. Like they should just got him. Like that's just who they should have got.
All right. Okay, so it brought in $31 million, which will just cover the film's marketing budget, which was $30 million.
God,
which is to say nothing of the reported 115 million of the
that was the movie budget.
movie budget. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Like they could have gave him $1 million and he'd have done it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to know how much like Jack Black got paid. If it's more than $1 million, I'd be surprised in something like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, Kevin Hart. I think. I mean, I really like the idea of The Rock as Roland and Jack Black as Kevin Hart, especially with well, no, because they weren't antagonizing her. Claptrap was antagonizing Lilith throughout the whole thing, which was one of my favorite running jokes. I really did enjoy him pointing out how horrible she was at every turn.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. All right, so this is going to be one of those things they absolutely never would have did at all whatsoever. But in a world where we can honestly disregard race as a thing, and this may just be my personal bias, John Cena is Roland.
Yeah. I was actually thinking John Cena would have been good as Brick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while we're at it, John Cena would have been good as Lilith or
Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack, Tiny Tina.
He would have been fantastic as Tiny Tina.
Every single bandit. Yeah. So
Butt Stallion.
Skags, Butt Stallion. Yeah, he would have been good as Butt Stallion.
Okay. So real quick, we're Moxie. I can't think of anybody else. I know that we thought of somebody who was really good, like a really good suggestion for it, but I can't remember who the hell that was.
I know I said Megan Fox if she could do a Southern Belle accent.
Yeah, that was it. Megan Fox.
Was that it? Okay.
Yeah, Megan Fox could totally do it.
Somebody else I said.
Which, I mean, she's got the look.
She's got the look. I don't know if she can do a good Southern Belle accent. That would be...
I mean, I didn't think Gina Gershon's was very good.
No. I don't know who they would have done. Like, that one's a hard one for me, because I don't even know that Megan Fox would have been particularly good. Like, Moxie is just such a picturesque character.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's hard to nail that down.
Mm-hmm.
I think really what I would need to be happy with it would be like and this character isn't nearly this important, but just to get like a Heath Ledger coming out of left field nailing a Joker, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just somebody's like, I don't know about that. And then you see it and you're like, holy shit. Yep. That was the correct choice, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then we've already talked about how wonderful Tannis was and how I can't really think of a recasting for her.
Yeah. Like I was, like I was, at first I didn't like the idea because, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is in her fucking late 60s, right? Or 70s.
Mm-hmm.
We looked it up the other day. But no, she's just an amazing actress. Like she just fucking did it. Like she hit it and yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. It worked.
All right, so that basically brings us to the end of the cast that was in the movie. I did think about maybe if we wanted to bring in some characters from the other games, and I came up with some ideas for some of the characters. I'd already mentioned John Cena for Brick.
Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. That would be good.
Considering he needs to be in every movie that comes out now,
Pedro Pascal does not have a place in Borderlands.
Mordecai.
I don't know, man. Maybe like I could see it working, but
much better would actually be. Did you see Boondock Saints 2?
That we need to have a show about that movie. Yeah. But yes, I did see it.
But the guy from that, I forget, Clifton Collins, is that his name? Clifton Collins Jr.
The guy who was definitely not. Goddamn, I can't remember his name from the first movie. The Italian dude.
Oh, definitely not Rocco. He definitely wasn't Rocco.
Clifton Collins.
I think his name was Clifton Collins Jr. The character's name I cannot remember, but I really liked the way that he talked. Like when he's talking to the old Irish guy. Nice to meet you. My name's Fuck Ass. All right, Fuck Ass. Nice to meet you. He could do Mordecai.
Yeah. I could. I wouldn't hate that. I think that could work.
For Maya, I had Aubrey Plaza. That's more just about the look. I really don't know anything about Maya's personality.
I don't know if it would work. She doesn't have much of a personality in the game. I don't know if it would work, but I actually kind of thought about her as again. I don't know that it would work, but I would like to see her as Tannis.
She was on my short list for Tannis as well. If we could get someone that is exactly between Aubrey Plaza and Kate McKinnon, somewhere between the energy of those two performances, because I feel like Kate McKinnon's energy would be too high and Aubrey Plaza's energy would be too low.
Yeah.
But if you could get them in the middle, I think that's where that performance is right in the line.
All right.
And then the last one I have from Borderlands 3, Just because his voice already made me think that it was this character. I thought Chris O'Dowd already was Zane's voice actor. Chris O'Dowd's the dude from the IT crowd.
Hate that show.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Which one is he in it though?
The white guy.
Okay.
The one that Joel McHale played in the American Pilot. That was.
I feel like I would have enjoyed Joel McHale, the IT crowd. I really like him. I wish he was in more stuff. He's not, and it makes me sad.
Have you watched Animal Control?
He's not as good in that.
No, he's not. But
yeah, well,
he's not too bad.
Actually, let me take that back. I don't know that he's that bad. That show's just not that good.
Yeah, I watch it while I'm working out. I don't know why I enjoy it in there, but like that's one I can't sit down and watch.
Yeah, I watched probably the first 8 or 10 episodes. All right, so this is, I don't know if you have this on your list of people who could play people or whatever, and this is going to be possibly kind of mean, just given the character, but fucking oh shit, what's her name? Scooter's sister,
Ellie,
Melissa McCarthy.
Oh yeah, like she could nail the voice perfectly too.
Yeah,
like her do like I mean, you would have to, of course, oh god, this is going to sound so bad.
No, I don't think you'd have to
put it. You don't think you'd have to put a fat suit on her?
No.
Like, I mean, I think you have to make her like.
I don't think you do, because like they had them at the end, and
they did, yeah.
I don't think you have to make her that big. But I think she could just nail the voice. The voice and the
performance would be perfect,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't hate Melissa McCarthy at all. I don't hate the 2016 Ghostbusters movie either, but we can talk about that another time, because I think we gotta bring this one to an end, because we don't want to waste too much of your fine people's time. So of course, as always, we're going to end with a fat guy pro tip.
Okay, so after Elliot, we got Scooter. The guy named Damon Harriman. He played Dewey Crow in Justified, and he's been in some other stuff, but that's the main one I can think of. I think he would be an awesome Scooter.
All right, Damon, how do you spell that last name?
G-R-M-A-N.
Got it. Oh yeah, that's Scooter.
Yeah,
that's 100% Scooter right there. I'm with you. I've never even heard the guy's voice, but that face is definitely Scooter.
And like, if you watch Justified, he plays this like redneck Kentucky, just white trash hillbilly person, and it's perfect for Scooter. Like, he could definitely do Scooter.
You could also do some stunt casting for that part and bring in Brad Pitt, but that's purely stunt casting.
You know what? You can put Brad Pitt in almost anything, and I'm like, you know what?
Brad Pitt can play John Cena.
I would love that. You know what? Actually, we mentioned earlier, did he come up? He could be Handsome Jack.
He could be Handsome Jack.
He could be Handsome Jack.
Yeah, he could definitely do both.
Yep.
And also, I mean, one of the best scenes of Handsome Jack is when he's eating the pretzels as he's talking about killing the guy.
Yep.
And Brad Pitt always eats while he's acting. Like, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of his moves.
It's so weird that that's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, it's like we could do a whole episode about that. Like, actors have their different trademarks. Like, Harrison Ford's always pointing. Tom Hanks is always pissing.
Tom Cruise is always running.
Always running, yeah. So we could probably do a little mini episode on that. But speaking of episodes, we're going to end that one right there. As always, we're going to part you with a fat guy pro tip. And here's what I have to say. Don't settle for subpar meat. Do the research. Know where you can go to get the good meat. It's probably not going to be a chain grocery store.
And also not out of the trunk of a car.
Probably not, no. Thanks for listening. Have a good night, folks.
Y'all have fun.